Welcome in episode 29 of Breaker Banter. My name's Devin Dobek, the voice of the Breakers, along with you. Well, the Breakers last weekend, another tough weekend. Home and home set with the Columbus River Dragons. They fall 4-0 on Friday night, and then by a final of 7-3 on Saturday. A couple good games, though. The Breakers were in both of them. The score will definitely deceive most, but they were a couple games that the Breakers were competing in, and then towards the end, the goals started to get a little lopsided, but some competitive games and definitely some entertaining hockey. Coming up on the podcast in just a few moments, we'll have Dimitris Christou joining us for episode 29. Excited to get into his interview and learn about his career. But a couple of promotions we have coming up for the Breakers. This Thursday will be Thirsty Thursday at the Coast Coliseum. So we will have $10 tickets. That's no strings attached at the Coast Coliseum box office. Terrace level seats, $10, no extra fees. It will be $10, I can guarantee, when you go up and get them. Also, $7.50 for 16-ounce Coors Light and Miller Lite all night long, so come on and enjoy Thirsty Thursday with us at the Coliseum. Friday will be First Responders Night. We showed our jerseys on our social media channels earlier today, so check them out. But some pretty cool firefighter EMS jerseys that will be for First Responders Night on Friday. They'll be auctioned post-game at the South entrance, so we hope you can join us for that. Couple exciting arrivals as well. Chouette Blacksmith will be making his Breakers debut this upcoming weekend as the Breakers take on the Topeka Scarecrows for their final two matchups against Topeka. We also saw a pair of rookies, the first two collegiate rookies for the Breakers, Al Rody and Peyton Jones, hit the ice for their first games as a Breaker, so congratulations, guys, as they turn pro. But yes, final two matchups with Topeka, some familiar faces coming back as well. Grant Bondi, of course, Aldi Nearland, and now Cole Crowder coming back home to play against the Breakers. So should be a lot of fun storylines. We're looking forward to those games. Both puck drops at 7 o'clock, but that just about wraps up our intro. We're going to bring on Dimi for our interview momentarily.
Recharge your body. Reset your mind. Revive your spirit. At Revive and Thrive, every detail is designed to elevate your recovery and well-being. Unwind in our serene salt therapy room and float suite. Awaken your senses with the benefits of cold water immersion. Then, step into a custom-built sauna featuring soft Himalayan salt lighting for athletes, adventurers, and anyone ready to unlock the power of recovery. Discover the difference at reviveandthrivems.com.
And we welcome you back into episode 29 of Breaker Banter. My name's Devin Dobek. I'm joined now by Dimitris Christou. Dimi, welcome to the panel. Happy to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Well, Dimi, as I like to kick it off with all of our guests, tell us about your early hockey journey growing up in Skaneatles, New York. Who were some of your early mentors that shaped your love of the game?
Some of my early mentors would have to be my coach in high school, Coach Major. He was kind of a big part of a lot of my hockey career and just kind of progressing as a player. And yeah, he was one of my kind of biggest mentors growing up in Skaneatles, at least, especially with hockey camps growing up. He does a lot of work with players, and he's a good coach and moves a lot of players to good
So
games.
It's fair to say he took homegrown talent to the next level if he's someone that had been there pretty much every step of your career and then taking you into high school?
Yeah, I would say.
How about your parents? Did they have an impact on your hockey career? Were they more fans or were they hands-on? How did they weigh in?
Definitely both. My mom drove me a lot of places. I would drive a lot to Rochester at one point because I was playing on teams out there, travel teams, and my dad as well, traveling, and we did a lot of different trips, and they were a big help with all that. So,
did you have a favorite NHL team or a player that you admired growing up?
Growing up, I really liked Brian Miller from Buffalo Sabres. He was kind of
I know you're a big Sabres fan. That
yeah,
must be
huge
a little
Sabres
bit
fan.
difficult, but this year's been a little fun.
Yeah, huge turnaround. So.
So the Sabres and Ryan Miller, and he was a Team USA guy once upon a time. We were just watching the 2012 gold medal game the other day ahead of USA-Canada. But keeping it rolling here, what are some of your favorite hockey memories from your time playing youth, growing up, just being young?
Again, like traveling with my parents and sisters because they also played hockey. It's obviously fun growing up, going to hotels, tournaments, different places. One of my better memories was going to Canada and playing in I think it was the Bell Cup. And that was a pretty good memory.
Awesome. Any other sports or activities you were involved in growing up? Did you have any other passions?
I did play lacrosse in high school, so that was a passion too. Played a lot of like side basketball with
it's the
hockey
best.
guys and golf but yeah.
So you played hockey for your hometown high school in Skaneatles, as you said, across 4 seasons. At that point in your hockey career, did you have aspirations to turn pro, or did those develop as you went on?
I would say it developed as I went on. I wasn't too sure what I was going to do coming out of high school, so that's why I kind of went the junior route and kind of just working and kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. And then I kind of landed in school, so that kind of helped with progressing me to playing pro hockey.
So I think it's pretty cool. Not a lot of people that end up playing professionally play at their local high school. So what went into your decision to stick it out and to play at Skaneatles as opposed to going to some preparatory school and preparing for something bigger? Because you paved your own path, but just going the homegrown route, which I think is great.
Yeah, I mean, Skaneatles is a really tight-knit hockey community, and I think that I was blessed to grow up and kind of play hockey there. The culture was 1 to none in Skaneatles, so I think that kind of helped me make my decision in staying that route. I did play a lot of junior hockey during high school, like split season, during my junior and senior year, but it was still, I had to play there during the main season because there was no second question. It was second to none with culture and stuff. So yeah.
Love that. 2017 to 2019, we'll pick it up there. You're a part of the Oswego Stampede in the NA3HL. You logged 79 games with them, 9 goals, 27 assists, and 106 penalty minutes. How would you describe your style of play in Oswego?
It was a little bit of everything. I did play a little bit of special teams there, so doing that and then having to play physical and still kind of be there for the team in that way. So a little bit of everything. But I would say more defensive style because we had a young team again those 2 years.
So we mentioned the 106 penalty minutes you had in that span.
Yep.
As a defenseman and knowing that you can change a game with your physicality, what kind of impact does that make on your teammates when you're able to use your body and create some sort of momentum boost by laying a hit or whatever it may be?
It kind of just helps. I think that with, again, playing for a young team, as well as how we are pretty young, we all play pretty physical, and I think that's what helps us in games that we're close and right in. So using, the body to kind of help guys maneuver around me, whether it's in the D zone and pinning a guy for our forwards to pick up the puck or whatever it may be, it helps in any way.
So you mentioned your time there and you enjoyed playing in Oswego, but taking a step back and looking at the competition and through your lens, how did you feel you stacked up against them? Did it kind of boost you to want to continue your hockey journey into pro, or was it something where you felt like, maybe you're one of the common men? Like, where was your confidence level at that time?
I think it was a little bit of learning from vets and learning from the younger guys and just kind of where everybody was at and how practices would go in games. And, the progression was good. So I thought, every year was a stepping point. So I thought I could definitely make the jump, but it kind of was like still in the air as, it's COVID was hitting, obviously the last year. So
yeah. 2019 to 2020, we'll pick it up there. You joined the Boston Junior Rangers in the AHL and the EHLP. 19 games played between the two clubs, and you log 8 assists. What was your experience like playing in a different state? Because you've been pretty New York purebred up until this point in your hockey career, starting in Skaneatles and then going on to Oswego. So now you're in Massachusetts playing in Boston. What was it like seeing that change in pace unfold, and what went into that decision to move?
It was kind of a decision on wanting to improve my chances of getting a school offer, as I was getting them in the NA3, but I kind of wanted to boost that in my last year and kind of make it a better decision than just jumping into something that I didn't know. But yeah, it was a good jump for sure. It was a fast-paced league for sure that year.
And of course, it ended with the COVID shutdown. So take us through your experience when that news hit. You find out that hockey season is going to be over. Just what were your raw emotions?
It was a
in that
tough
moment?
time. I mean, that's when, guys are committing to schools, and we were going to play in the EHL finals in, I think, Providence that year, and they actually shut down right before that. So it was a tough time because I wasn't actually committed yet to a school. So for me, it kind of messed with that a little bit. But it was a tough little time for all of us.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, that was prime time for you to start making those big decisions. But after the news broke, how were you able to stay active, in shape during COVID? Like, how were you able to fine-tune your game even without ice for a time?
It was actually pretty easy for me. I was actually pretty blessed in Skaneatles, as hockey's huge in that area, so getting ice was not an issue for me in upstate New York during COVID. As well as working out, there's a lot of opportunities in Skaneatles to kind of keep yourself, in shape and at it, while we had to be indoors most of the time.
So then we'll pick it up right after COVID, 2020 to 2025. You're at Franklin Pierce University, the NCAA Division III level. 64 games played for the Falcons there. You posted 2 goals, 7 assists, and 78 penalty minutes in that span. How was your college experience, and how do you feel it prepared you for the professional level?
NCAA hockey is definitely a tough level. You have a lot of kids competing, for the same thing, and it's to get better and to move on. So once you make that jump, you kind of realize, yeah, I do want to play after, or you kind of realize, okay, maybe it's not for me. But that's kind of where you realize what your potential is as a player, for sure.
And what went into the decision to play in NCAA? I think this is something that every hockey player that ends up, going somewhere has to make, is juniors or the NCAA. And you'd obviously played a few seasons of juniors, but then you elected to go with the college route. What went into that decision? And looking back, are you happy with it?
I guess it was for my degree. I did want to have my degree. It was kind of like a no question when you could get your degree and play hockey.
Yeah.
So I think that's what went into it. But looking back, I feel as if maybe I could have gone the pro route right out of juniors, as could have been younger. And it kind of could have been a different route, but I'm happy that I have my degree.
Do you have any memories playing with Brendan Spinelli over at Franklin Pierce? Of course, he was your teammate for a handful of seasons, but what was he like in school?
He was my roommate in school, and a
And
lot
now
of
your
memories.
roommate in pro.
Yeah, and my roommate in pro, and he's a great guy. He's one of the guys you love to have on a team. He's always trying to get the guys going, whether it's scaring the guys or getting the guys, laughing. But some great memories in school. I mean, on the ice, especially in school. I mean, he's a hardworking kid, so he played a lot of forward in college, and he'd do a lot of good things for us, especially putting the puck in the net. So.
Did you ever forecast him to be this big-time enforcer that he's developed into? Did you see that coming from his time in college?
Definitely. I mean, in college, he had a punching bag in his room, and he watches this bunch of UFC, so I could definitely see that.
A favorite memory from your time at Franklin Pierce?
I would say playing LIU.
Playing
Yeah.
LIU.
Yeah, it was a good trip. We went to New York or Long Island, and they're a pretty good team, so it was cool playing against some of those kids.
Another thing that's great, I think, about your time at Franklin Pierce is not everybody's able to last 5 years at one school. I think it shows a lot about your dedication and your loyalty. Is that something that you feel is important to you in your hockey career?
Yeah, I definitely do. It's always been kind of a thing for me to just stick things out wherever I am and kind of try to make it better, increase the chance of it getting better, whether it was my 5th year being my last year. I was hoping the next year would be better for the team. They did have a better year. So, yeah.
So one thing I know that you take a lot of pride in is, of course, representing Greece, which is part of your heritage, of course, and you're an assistant captain there. You've been parts of 3 different tournaments, but playing for the Greek national team. What's it like to represent your home country?
It's an honor. It's definitely cool to play with some players who, are drafted in the NHL or in the AHL or playing, different levels in the coast. Or it's a really cool experience, and to represent, your country while doing it, it's something you don't forget.
What's it like playing on that international stage? Is there some sort of extra emotions that go into it, or just do you take a step back and take it in at times? How does that go?
I think like the first tournament, I had to step back and take a look at it because we did pull out a win against like a good team with a good roster, and that was kind of like eye-opening because it kind of started the whole thing for Team Greece. So yeah.
And then another question that I've got to ask you is you pretty efficient points-wise in your time playing for Team Greece. Are you secretly a skill guy? We've seen flashes of it here in Biloxi, a couple nice moves to the net, but secretly, deep down, are you a skill guy?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a forward, and I think that I definitely can put up a lot of points in a short amount of time. It's just I kind of tend to sneak back into defensive play too. I think that with the teams that we play in this side is, it's kind of tough to, pull out some of those moves, but they happen.
We've almost seen it a few times.
Yeah.
Where are we at? We are at your favorite memory from those tournament times. So representing Greece, is it putting on the jersey? Is it getting that win, as you mentioned? Is it playing with good talent? But what is the most important memory that you take with you from those times?
I would say getting together with the guys like after the games. I mean, once you get there in the start of the tournament, you kind of meet everyone, and it's crazy because then after you become so close because you're all kind of the same, blood almost, and it's kind of cool. I would say just hanging out with those guys who are heritage, remains in Greece. So.
At the end of last season, after your time at Franklin Pierce, you signed with the Danbury Hat-Tricks, where you played 7 games at the end of last year, and then another 10 this year. What was it like hitting the ice for the first time, calling yourself a pro in Danbury, which, of course, is a place with a lot of history, a lot of tradition? What was that like?
It was tough. I mean, it's tough playing there, whether you're an away team or a home team. I mean, you have to be ready to play every night in Danbury because you never know what will happen over there. But yeah, it was definitely cool going out there for my first pro game, for sure.
This season with Danbury, you had a goal and 3 assists for the Hat-Tricks before eventually winding up as a Breaker. What was it like to score your first pro goal for the Danbury Hat-Tricks?
It was awesome. I mean, it was a huge goal for a big win that we needed, and it was kind of a start to like a good stretch for us there.
Do you have a favorite part of your time in Danbury? Of course, we mentioned the tradition, the history. Of course, the fans are loud. What's your favorite thing looking back?
Probably hanging out with our newest breaker, Zach Palmelaine, in the locker room. Whether it's pre-practice or post-game or pre-game, it's always a blast with that guy.
I didn't even mention him yet, but Palmelaine, it's been great to have him. He looked really good in his first game last weekend, so very excited to add him to the Breakers roster. But then you come into Biloxi, where you've been a part of each of the last 15 games. What do you enjoy about playing here and playing in Biloxi? How is it different from other places you've been?
It's a breath of fresh air. I mean, when I arrived, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. It's a great area. It's a good spot to play. The rink is right across from a beach, and you can't get anything better than that.
Do you have a favorite thing to do off the ice around here?
It's definitely hang out with the pool, the lofts.
Yeah, no, everybody's always taking advantage. There's a big pickleball tournament the other day. I know that. And then you can't hate this area, all the casinos and stuff. There's plenty of fun to get into for sure down here in Biloxi. But how have your relationships been with your teammates? Of course, you're rooming with your college roommate who's now playing pro with you here, but how do you characterize your relationship with your teammates?
It's been a good, about 2 months now? It's been, I mean, we're all pretty close, and you see the guys hanging out in each other's rooms, and we're kind of getting the click going, so I think it's good with going into the last, 14 games? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been good hanging out with a lot of the teammates, and it's been fun.
So you recorded your first pro fight last Saturday night on Country Night at the Coliseum, going up with Skate Scaldi, and wow, it was a fun one. A win with authority. It didn't last long for the other guy, but take us through that. What do you remember? What was going through your head? What were your emotions? And just what can you recall from that exact moment?
I think it was more just anger from the game being so close, and we kind of had a bad 5-minute stretch in the third, and I think it was just kind of a mix of emotions. But he was kind of, talking a lot, so, he asked me if I wanted one, and, I didn't say much. It was more just the anger kind of taking over, and ended up happening. So.
And then on your way off the ice, you hear the public address announcer kind of say, "Let's hear it for Dimitris Christou," and get the crowd going. How did that feel after the fight?
The crowd was loud. I mean, I've never heard that place loud like that, so it was definitely a good feeling to get them going, especially after we couldn't pull out the win for them. So it was definitely good to hear them happy for a little bit.
So the Breakers, unfortunately, have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. But what's the focus for this group in their final 14 games? What will be the things you guys try and do to prepare for next season?
I guess it's a mix of both. I mean, you got to still play like you're in playoffs because that's how you get better for the next season. You can't really think about that too much. It's tough because Baton Rouge has pulled off some good wins, so that kind of hurt us a little bit. But again, I mean, all we can do is kind of look towards the next game, and hopefully we can just keep improving game to game and pull out some wins.
All right. And as I always like to leave the floor, your final question or your final, statement you can give, Dimi, is if you have a message to the fans or if you want to say hello to anyone back home, the floor is yours to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get you guys some wins, and go Breakers, and love you, Mom and Dad. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, huge thank you to Dimitris Christou for joining me on the panel. You are the third international representative we've had after Carter Thornton, of course, with Team Jamaica. Rahul Sharma's played a little bit for Canada, and now we've got somebody from Greece. So you're our third international guest, and it's a pleasure to have you on, and we look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season. Maybe you and Spinner will become the new Bash brothers with Mr. Schlepp in the ECHL now.
Yeah. But, yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, that's Dimi Christou. My name's Devin Dobek. I'll be back to wrap up episode 29 in a couple moments right here. Huge thank you to Dimi Christou for joining me on the panel for episode 29. Great to learn about his journey. Of course, has represented Greece and had a very decorated college and junior career. So awesome to learn about all that and see what's brought him now to Biloxi. But of course, this Thursday will be Thirsty Thursday, 7:50 for 16-ounce Miller and Coors Light. So come out and join us all night long. There will be affordable beverages for those of age that can prove it. It'll also be $10 ticket night. No strings attached on Thursday. It will be $10, no additional fees at the box office for a terrace level ticket. So come on. It's a good affordable opportunity to get involved at Breaker Bay with only 6 more home games left. Friday will be First Responders Night as well. Breakers are in their specialty uniforms. Can't wait to see how those are when they hit the ice. I know I'm going to have a little trouble with the numbers from way up, but they look great. A great auction will be going on afterwards, so come and have a chance to cast a bid and take home your favorite player. But looking forward to seeing Chouette Blacksmith make his debut. Of course, we had ZP, Al, and Peyton Jones make their Breaker debuts last weekend. Looking forward to seeing what they're able to do coming up on this weekend with a lot of familiar faces coming back home. Topeka, Breakers have half their win total against the Scarecrows this season, so 11th and 12th matchups against Topeka. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe a win is in store at Breaker Bay. We hope you can join us there. But that just about wraps us up. If you can't be at Breaker Bay, join me on the broadcast at Biloxi Breakers FPHL on YouTube. But once again, a thank you to Dimi for joining me for our interview here on episode 29. My name's Devin Dobek, and we'll see you next time at the Hard Rock Cafe in Biloxi for Breaker Banter episode 30 coming up, another milestone.